Get started. So we're not going to do a slideshow because I want you to be able to be away from your screen a little bit more. But I did want to briefly introduce myself. I am Lisa Danahy, and I am the founder and CEO of Create Calm. And I'm super excited to be here today because I have actually been affiliated with what was COSUM and is now transitioning into educating mindfully. I've been a big fan of the collaborative work that they've created in bringing us all together in resourcing. And I've enjoyed working with a lot of the folks that are part of the group on an individual basis and now together. When they brought this idea of coming together up as an organization, I think it was really um, well overdue in terms of, hi, Patricia. It was well overdue in terms of addressing community mental health and well-being goals. And so I'm super excited to be part of this. And I'm going to remind you that they're an ongoing resource beyond this moment. In it's easy to find them, educatingmindfully.org. I'm going to put it in the chat in a moment. And I wanted to let you know that this is an opportunity for you to, oops, sorry. What just happened? This is an opportunity for you to be affiliated with a really awesome, powerful group of experts and like-minded individuals as you become a member or get more involved in the program. So thank you, Lindsay, for the opportunity for us to all be here today. So, all right, let's get started. So what we're going to do today is we're going to explore this notion of social emotional learning in the construct of energy. I wrote a book recently. This isn't a plug about the book. It's my resource, my go-to, called Creating Calm in Your Classroom. And what I did with this book was take the notion of behavior management and bring it into a really clear way to understand movement and breathing as tools for engaging in behavior management. And so what I've got a whole lot of science in the book, but what we're going to do today is we're going to work with what I think is an enormous concern. And that is this notion of increasing anxiety. I'm going to turn this music down. Increasing anxiety and worry among children and adults in our community today. And it is really oozing into a lot of different places in our homes and our schools, and it's showing up as some really challenging behaviors. And what I think is really interesting in particular about anxiety is that it's one of those emotional states that shows up as really intense energy, this kind of manic hyperactivity, or it can show up as really low energy, a depressed, withdrawn state. And some of the behaviors that are coming into our classrooms and that adults and children are demonstrating are really an expression of the energy without them even recognizing their connection to the emotion. And so we're going to work today on raising and meeting energy for self-expression and freedom in order to release this energy imbalance related to anxiety, which is one of the prominent issues facing our kiddos today. So we're going to get started. So I want you to rub your hands together. Slide yourself back from that screen a little bit more. Give yourself some distance. Rub your hands together and just take a moment to feel what's between your hands. You are feeling All right, feel that energy and rub your hands really quick. Feel how it kind of warms up. You might feel a little bit bigger energy. You might even feel bigger energy in your body. And then slow your hands down and notice if that changes how you feel and what energy is moving in your body. Now take your hands and gently cup them over your eyes. You can keep your eyes open or close them and just take a few breaths here. Allow your fingers to rest on your forehead and your palms to rest comfortably on your cheeks. Cupping your hands over your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a few more breaths, just giving yourself the opportunity to connect. Take your hands and let them come back down and rest in your. Just notice if there's been any shift in how you feel. So we know that we are in control of our energetic states, but a lot of times the energy around us is in control of our energetic states as well. So maybe you came in contact with somebody earlier who felt really frustrated or tense or tired or um, unregulated, and that oozed onto you. So maybe um, you felt really low and somebody's really positive energy oozed into you too. So this is about feeling the energy around you and within you and being able to move and connect with your body and your mind in ways to shift it so that you can come back into balance. So when we do these exercises in classrooms, we always start with class agreements, and we have 2 class agreements. We're going to do those together. So I want you to take your hands, sparkle your fingers, and stretch your arms out wide. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Take a big breath in and imagine you're gathering up tons of love and goodness and respect and kindness, and bring it into your heart as you breathe out and wrap your hands around yourself. Give yourself a big hug. And reach your arms out and love everybody else. Spread it out, share it, expand it, and then bring it in and love yourself. Reach out and draw in. This is just what happens with your energy too. You come out and you go in. You bring it out to the world, you bring it in from the world. So do this a few more times and really feel this sensation of being part of all the outside and being part of the inside. And then wrap your arms around yourself and go deep in and hug and squeeze yourself and say, I love me. Good. And then relax your arms. And remember that above all, kindness needs to start on the inside. So take a moment to say a little kind word or two to yourself, perhaps appreciating that you're here, appreciating a sensation or something you're experiencing right now. Seal it with a big breath and breathe it out and let it go. And you can keep the eyes closed or open and bring your finger and your thumb to the top of each ear. So right up here in the cartilage is a little acupressure point that helps to connect the mind and body, that helps you feel simultaneously focused and relaxed. And I like to do this to remind myself to listen to what's going on around me, but also to listen on the inside. And this means taking care of yourself. This means honoring where you are in your movement, in your experience, and tuning into what's going to help you stay balanced and regulated. All right. Now bring your hands down into your lap. And you can sit in what we call peace pose with your legs crossed, or you can sit on your knees or in a chair. Just make sure you have enough room. And if you're in a chair, slide to the edge of the chair. And we're just going to do some spinal warm-ups. So bring your body forward, your chest and your belly forward as you breathe in, and press it back as you breathe out. Good. So we're working on tuning into the spine because the spinal column is where a lot of our fluids and neuro pathways run. And this is a really quick way to get ourselves centered and tuned in to the fact that we even have a body. All right, so you're breathing in as you come forward, breathing out as you go back, and you're starting to tune into the midline of your body. This is going to help you with proprioception. This is going to help you with vestibular perception. Where am I in space? Where is this body? Good. Do that a few more times. And then gradually come to stillness. Let your spine come to a neutral position and take a moment to just notice how you feel. Notice if you have a different sense of awareness or sensations in your body, if your breath has changed. And then put one hand on the side of your chair or on the floor, reach another arm up the other side, stretch over and say hi. And then come on up and do the other side and say hi over here. And do that a few more times. And as you stretch, you know as an adult that this is stretching your intercostal muscles between your ribs. This is helping your digestion. This is helping you to move fluids through the body. And again, it's bringing you that spinal awareness so that you know where you are and you're waking up the neurosystems in the body. One more time to each side, and then bring your arms out, down and out to the sides. Take a big breath in, fill yourself up like a balloon, and breathe out. Bring your hands right down the midline, coming back to your heart. Do that again. Big breath in and breathe it out. And one more time, big breath in and breathe it out. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Maybe even cross your hands and put them on your heart. And notice if you can tell whether your energy is bigger or littler, or maybe it's more balanced. Now bring your hands on your shoulders, push your elbows out to the sides, and turn to look over one side and look at the other, and twist your body at the ribs, breathing in on one side and out on another. So we call this washing machine, and we use this to squeeze the muck out. This is again helping to awaken the nerves and the fluids that are running along the spine, but it's also going to help with breath and digestion. It's helping to open up the chest and the front of the chest. There's a lot of baroreceptors and elements of our processing of our sensory experiences that run through the upper ribs and the neck. Good. And then slow it down. And coming back to center, take your hands, hold them there on your shoulders, take a big in, and breathe out and let your arms relax. And just take a moment to notice your breathing, to notice your body. Has there been any change? Do you have the same feelings you had before, or are they shifting? Your breath change. Do you feel like you have bigger energy or littler energy? If your eyes are closed, slowly open them and stretch your body. Stretch your legs and your arms and your hands. And if you're sitting on the floor or in a chair, come to standing. As you come up to standing, put your feet on the floor and feel your connection to the earth. You may want to jump or you may want to stomp. Just notice your connection to the earth. And notice what parts of your body can move the freest and what parts feel kind of heavier. Good. Now plant your feet and let's take another balloon breath. Big breath in and breathe it out. So knowing whatever's going on the outside, I can take this balloon breath. Let's do it again. And I can use it as a signal to myself to come back to my center. And let's do one more of those. Excellent. Now we're going to try something, and I'm not going to talk to you too much about what it does or how it feels because I want this to be an experiment for you. So the first thing we're going to do is come into what we call mountain pose. So your feet are right under your hips, your arms are right by your sides, and you're feeling nice and strong and steady. You're able to support yourself with your legs. Now, sometimes we get floppy and we lose control of our bodies. But in this case, what we want is nice, strong muscles. We want to feel really powerful. All right. So we're going to start this slow motion, and it goes like this. You're going to step out a little bit and bring your arms out in T position. And then you're going to step wider and bring your arms overhead and clap your hands. And then you're going to step in a little bit and arms back to T position and feet together and arms by your sides. So it goes step, step, together, together, step, step, together, together, step, step, together, together. All right, now you can keep doing that, stepping out to the sides and up, or you can add a jump to it. So I'm going to let you choose what energy needs you have right now and join me in whatever way works for you. And if you jump it, it looks like this. Out a little bit, out more, back a little bit, back more, out, back, back. So let's give it a try. So either jumping it or stepping it, you're going to go out, in, out, in, or you're going to go out, in, out, in. Let's keep it going and let's see how fast you can do it. Keep going. Good job. And it's okay if your arms and legs decide to go a different way because they've probably been doing a similar movement a lot through your life, but this is different. You can go even faster. Go even faster. Good job. Keep it up. Keep it up. Now, can you slow down? Slow it down. Slow it down. Step it out. Keep going. Slow it down. Even slower. Let your arms come rest by your sides. Take a big breath in. Breathe it out. Put your hands on your heart. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Notice what's going on now with your body, with your thoughts, and with your energy. Maybe you're feeling really focused, or maybe you're feeling really scattered, feeling big or little. And there's no need to change any of it. Just knowing where you are, you can know where you want to go. We're going to do one more experiment. So notice what your body needs now. Maybe you're starting to feel like you're really tired or you're feeling like you have a lot of energy. So this next thing we're going to try, you're going to take 3 sips of breath with movements of your arms. So you're going to reach your arms out for the first sip, and then out to the sides for the second, and then up overhead for the third. Bend your knees, and as you breathe out, you're going to fold at your hips and swing your arms. So breathe in and come up. Breathe in a little more out to the side, and breathe in overhead and swish. And I want you to make a sound as you exhale and go, ha. Good. Ha. Really release it on that breath out. Ha. Anything that was happening with you throughout the day that didn't feel good, just muck it off, get rid of it. Anything that feels really good, imagine you're embracing it, bringing it in. You are the conductor, the maestro of your story. You can choose how you feel. Always. One more time. And come up, take a big balloon breath. And breathe it out. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. Rest your hands here. Notice how you feel. What's going on with your body, with your breath, with your energy. Can you start to notice what you might need? First step in regulation, knowing where we are. Now we're going to do one more thing. And you need a little bit more space for this. And you may need to adapt depending on how your body's feeling today. But I want you to walk your feet wide. Bring your hands on your thighs and press your hips back. And I want you to growl like a grizzly bear. Now imagine these grizzly bears, it's been cold out. We're going to go into hibernation. Now we're coming out of hibernation and we're a little groggy and we're a little hungry. So I want you to put your bear paws on the floor, bend your knees a lot so that you can feel your hands and feet connected to the earth, and bring one hand forward and that same side foot forward, and then the other hand forward and that foot forward, and a hand and a foot and a hand and a foot. I want you to wander around the room a little like a bear foraging for food. It's a hand and a foot and a hand and a foot. Wandering through the forest looking for something to eat. Let your head hang down, heavy from being asleep so long. And keep going, just a few more steps. And then make your way back to the spot where you began. And bend your knees and come down to the floor. And let yourself curl up in a little ball or sit in a chair and put your belly on your thighs. Or keep your hips over your knees and bring your forehead over your forearms. And take a moment and imagine you're going back into that cave, tucking back in, letting your body rest. As your body gets relaxed and slows down, imagine you're now sleeping like a bear, snugly and warm in your little cave, and you're dreaming about bees. And just let a soft little hum sound fill your throat, like a little bee buzzing in the sky. Feel the vibration in your chest and in your throat. And it's a warm, sunny summer day. So you dream, your dream fills with bees and honey. Maybe there's a little pond that you're sitting alongside of under a tree, feeling happy and warm. Feel calm and safe. Notice how that feels. Calm and safe. Notice how it feels. Be relaxed and happy. I'm gonna count to 5, and I want you to see if you can get even more relaxed. 1. How you feel? And slowly to sit up and stretch and yawn. And wiggle and squiggle. And come back to sitting comfortably in a chair or on the floor. Hmm. Thank you so much for joining me for that little energy exploration. We did some motor planing, we did some spatial awareness, we did some vagus nerve toning. So now I'd like to take the rest of the time to dissect what we did and to talk to you about things that are happening with you that this kind of technique might be able to help with, and any questions you have about what we did. So I encourage everybody to feel free to turn on your mics or open the chat, and let's let's talk about this. Anybody want to share? How are you feeling now?
Relaxed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I skipped some of the major ones, but
That was probably smart. You tuned into your energy needs.
I like the washing machine.
Yeah. Tell me what you liked about the washing machine. What was your experience with it?
Well, I felt like you said, getting rid of the muck. I'm like, that's what I need. I need to and it felt like it called in my energy. It reminded me that I am strong and my body is capable.
And especially when we have been dealing with an illness or a challenge, it's really sometimes hard to access those beliefs about ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you could tap into that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you have that now as a tool that you can use anytime.
Yeah. That was great.
Good. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
It was fun. I can see where children would like that.
In what ways? Tell me more.
I have a great niece who has sensitivity issues and cries a lot. And I can see her enjoying the imagination of that. She's about 7. And and I think that that would be one way for her to release. She picks up stress from everything in the world. And sometimes she just gets so full of it, her body freezes and she screams at the top of her lungs. And nobody seems to understand why, except they know that she's got sensitivity. So
So a lot of well, all the tools we worked with today are built on a foundation of yoga and mindfulness for sensory processing challenge,
right.
and built with the notion that we are either too overly stimulated or overly disconnected. And so being able to play in a playful space where we're using our imaginations, it's less threatening, right? So
Yes.
we're able to play and practice these things in a time when we're not at the height of the overfeeling or the underfeeling. And we can say, oh, okay, um, like Mary Lisa said, I was able to tap into something that I didn't have access to. And I was able to play with calling on the energy I need. And so if I'm feeling really big energy, if I'm feeling overly sensitive, if I'm on the verge of crying or hitting or whatever that that impulse to act on the energy is, if I do something like yoga jacks, I'm channeling the big energy into the very specific linear movement. I don't know if you noticed, but all of the things we did were along one plane or another plane of movement. So it didn't create scattered energy. It was very channeled, focused energy. And so if I'm starting out big, it allows me to take my bigness and kind of contain it, right? And then the contrast, if I'm starting out really low, if I'm feeling like a little seed tucked in the ground and you're asking me to get up and move, when I am tiny and I do something like yoga jacks, I can't help but feel myself a little bigger. Sort of like what Mary Lisa was saying, she was feeling, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but she was feeling kind of constricted and small and got a little bit bigger because she was able to move that energy. So you can move it in or move it out. You can raise it up or raise it down or lower it down. And if we use, sometimes we're afraid of big movement and big energy, right? Especially in kids. We walk into a classroom and they're all big energy and it's like, uh-oh, what do I want to try to do? I want them to be sitting quiet in their turtle shells or doing bee breath, but they're not there yet. So what I'm going to have to do right now is get big with them. And I'm going to have to trust that by getting big with them, we're practicing self-regulation. We're practicing the tools to eventually get ourselves calm and in control again. And the best part is I'm not telling them what to do, and I'm not expecting anything out of them and letting them do it themselves. So that's a super important piece of it, especially for this great niece who is super sensitive, right? We don't want
Yeah.
to keep telling her because she keeps turning to the outside. She's looking to the outside for guidance. And what we need to say is, honey, you know it on the inside. You've got the tools. Here's something you can try. And when you all did the bear walk is super grounding. And so that's a great way to take that big energy and pound it into the ground, quite literally get yourself really anchored, really steady. And then we naturally went into an even smaller state. We curled up into our turtle shells, we hibernated, and we did breathing, and we made the energy go smaller and smaller, more channeled. We didn't force the energy to disappear. We didn't squeeze it in. We just gave it room to be. So any other thoughts, questions? Jade, Lindsay H, Lindsay F. I only have a couple more minutes.
I put mine in the chat, and then I'll have to pop off to continue on. But I just said it was nice having the different varied levels of energy, but I also like what you said, like you stayed on the same plane. And I think the importance, and you also validated this, like we have to meet the energy where the energy is. So we meet just like with anything, like we meet where people are, where our students are, where staff are. And then from that meeting, then we can co-regulate and then bring it where it needs to go. And so I just really appreciated that. I appreciated all of like the different practices that really, like from the breath, from the openness, like I felt like a lot of opening from the heart and the chest. Like for me, especially being on the screen today, it was very nice to just open. So definitely felt that in the body. Thank
Good.
you.
And I wanted you to have some really quick tools that you can use for yourself, you can use in the classrooms. But you're right, it's all about us getting ourselves connected so that others can feel connected. And instead of dictating it or asking them to engage in something really complicated, just showing and feeling happy ourselves is going to result in other feelings of happiness in other people. So thank you.
Yeah. It was very nice to
Another
get away.
last little word. I'm sorry,
I was
Jane,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
say, it was very nice to get up and like away from my desk and stand and move around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I love meditating and mindfulness, and I love talking about this stuff. But in the end of the day, if we don't move, none of it's going to implant. I mean, and the best way for me to remember and integrate my experiences in my nervous system is to move it through my nervous system. And so, especially with younger learners, right?
Right. they're so unverbal. They don't know how
That's
to
exactly
put
right. We
names
ask
on
them, how are you
things.
feeling? I don't know.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
and they truly are clueless. It's not that they're withholding. Yeah.
Yeah. I often see teachers and parents mislabel energy as specific feelings. And I don't like to do that. I just say, are you feeling big? You feeling little? Because there's a lot of positive and negative connotations attached to emotions. And if I give you the wrong one and I'm trying to tell you how you feel, that's really going to mess you up on knowing from the inside. Because you may not
Mhm.
be angry, but you look angry to me. And if I call you angry, then you go, maybe I'm angry, right? I thought I was just excited.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, last final thoughts, anyone? I know I got to get you out of here for your next session, and I know we've got closing in just a little bit. Uh, I want to thank you all for your time today, and I want to thank Educating Mindfully for giving us this space to do this in, and I hope
Mhm.
we can do it again. I'm just putting my little plug in over there. Let's do it over and over and get these tools out there. And don't forget to become a member and donate and be a part of this group because I have really, really appreciated it, and I think you will too. So,
Thank you.
and last little bit, one of you is going to get a copy of our book. So if you could do me a favor and in the chat, give me an email address or tell me yes or no you want to be considered for the book, and then we'll get back to you and get you a copy of the book. And I'll send everybody a link to it also. Again, it's not a pitch to sell it. It's just been really, really helpful to me and to my team of teachers at Create Calm and all the schools we work in. So thank you all.
And then Lisa, if you want to put your information in the chat as well, and then just everybody here, if you want to get in touch with her, please visit the resource guide. And so all of that is linked there, so you can continue to connect with her after this as well. But thank you again, Lisa, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you.
Oh, oh, wait. 1 second.